Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're looking at Clank Catacombs. This is had a setup, play and review, and this is a game actually borrowing, so things are slightly different. We've got lots of modified bits, including how components are stored, including the cards, which have also been sleeved. Designed by Paul Denon. This is the third Clank game I have played. I've also got one other Clank game, which I might talk to you about in a bit. So in this particular game, we are thieves. We are looking to be the best thief. Now I'm aware I do have some shadow and shine going on. Hopefully that's not an issue for you, and of course do let me know and I can surely obviously turn that off. So various decks. This is a deck building game. I do like deck building games. I think I might even have a playlist for deck building games. And in this particular game, it's a game where you are competitively trying to steal the most riches and avoid the wrath of the dragon. Now this is a representation of the game Clank. I've also played Clank in space as well, and Clank Acquisitions Incorporated I'll be bringing to the channel at some point as well, along with many other legacy games. I'm up to about 30 now. So we have various cards that we can acquire, various cards that are going to come up, and sometimes we'll be attacked by a said dragon. So in this game, this is set up for 2 to 4 players. Having said that, one second, I do actually have a 5 to 6 player version as well, which is here, and that's compatible with all the other ones in the Clank series and in the adventuring party. So you're going to need, for each party member, you are going to need certain cards. You can have a goblin card, don't worry about that one. But if you look at this deck here, I'll show you, you are going to start off with a number of cards, and those are 10. So we have 10 cards we can start off with, which I'll sort out in a second. So we have sidestep, stumbles, burgles, scrambles and stuff like that. If you're not familiar with regular Clank, don't worry, I'll talk to you about it. One thing I will say right now though, whilst I'm setting up, is how much fun the text is on the cards. When I saw Clank Catacombs, the very first thing I did was made sure I read every single card when I did it, because it is so fun. It is the same text as the original Clank if you're not familiar with it, and I will show you a bit of that in a second too. Slightly different kind of fisheye going on, I'm aware, in this particular video as well. Like I said, slightly different setup. And just let you know, obviously that's something to be aware of. We are starting off in this location. I will set up just for one person, just to let you know. And I think I'll stick with something that's quite least like the board. So let's go with yellow. And you are going to start off with placing out a number of cubes on here, depending if you're going first, second, or third, or fourth. If you're going first, you're chucking 3 cubes. They're going to go on that dragon tile. For now, I'm just going to leave them here. Leave them here. But if you are going to be going second, you are going to be placing 2 out, 1 if you're third, and 0 if you're going fourth. There's a total of 30 cubes. These cubes can come out, and you basically do not want them coming out. You also have 10 life. As and when we'll see them draw from the bag, they will fill up here. Reach 10 and you are exterminated. You're out of the game, and in this instance you will not be getting a score. You will not be winning the game. We also have a little dragon, I'll say pawn. Could call it meeple. We know it's not a meeple because it's not people. So there we go, that goes there. We're also going to have a market, all individually baggied. You can buy things for for 7 coin. So that's something that's familiar with there. So let's just chuck that. Slightly out of shot. In my last game I didn't buy anything at the market. I managed to come second in that last game. We also got various counters in here. So counters equal victory points. So of money, which you can buy. So 10s, 1s, 5s, etc. We have some small relics, some large relics. We've got some characters that we can try to get out as well. And there's all kind of iconography about what those represent. Now, in some of my videos, I go really deep. I do 40+ minute videos. This is much more of about the premise, about what you are doing in the game. So if you want to see stuff about monkey idols and stuff like that, like I said, that might not be covered initially, but you can check out the comments and also the description on YouTube for more details. So unlike the board, as I mentioned, in this instance, we are playing out various tiles, various deep tiles. So you're going to shuffle these up and place things out as well. These are locations on your turn. You're going to be taking a tile, deciding which path you're going to be moving along. At the end of the first 2 rounds, when you've played out your 10 cards, obviously 5 per round, which we'll get onto as well, then you'll be revealing a new card. And you're saying which path you want to go down, and this is where you'll start diverging your story. Somebody might be going this way, somebody might be going this way. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. We're talking about what you can do on your turn. So you have got 10 cards. So let's shuffle up your 10 cards. Everyone's got the same cards and draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aim in the game, again, I mentioned, is to get the most points and survive. To get the most points and survive, you need to get back to this location once you've found an artifact. Once everybody but one person's found an artifact, in terms of getting back as well, that triggers the end of the game. As soon as one person's found an artifact, then as soon as that person gets back, they can get 20 victory points. The second person back with an artifact gets 15. The third person back gets 10. And then if that fourth person does get back, well, there's potentially, I think, 5 points up for grabs as well. So let's look at our 5 cards. We've got a stumble, stumble, a burgle, a burgle, a burgle. So we've got 2 stumbles and 3 burgles. We have costs, things that we can use as currency. Again, terrible shine going on here. So we have a cost of 1, and let me read the text out. If you want to keep it, they would have nailed it down. Whereas a stumble is 1 clank, and if you want to get away, you'd have kept quiet. So what can we do with these cards? Well, one thing I haven't shown you yet are various cards which come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Items that you can buy. Now this is where we are running out of space, but let's just have this down here for the time being. So 6 items that you can buy. The cost is the bottom right, always. So in this instance, we have a starting layout down here. And the reason for maybe buying it is you can gain health. So you can take a cube off here if you have one on it, or you can move. Why is moving important? Well, you need to find those artifacts. So each time you have a boot icon, so again, I've got 5 cards left, then this boot icon means I can move 1 distance. This happens to be a crystal cavern. Now an ice cavern, it kind of get lost in it because it's a maze, which means you get stuck there. So if you had a movement of 2, so you had 2 boots, then in this instance you couldn't do it. So you have 2 boots, you've got to stop there. So you've wasted your action. So that's the trouble with being aware of what you have and playing with what you have. So right now you've got 2 clank, so you're going to take your respective cubes, you're adding 2 clank to the bag, and the other downside with maybe wanting to buy something is suddenly you're thinking, what, do I buy anything? There are 3 other items you can be buying. So you have the goblin, so if you happen to have coins, you can defeat it. If you happen to have 2 of these swords, and that allows you to get a coin, and that's infinite, no one can ever sort of take that card. But there are other things you can be doing too. We have mercenaries, so there's 3 other decks. So in addition to this draw deck here, you also have 3 other decks. So we have the mercenary. I went very heavy on mercenary last time, and again you can pay the cost, so you can buy as many cards as you want, pay 2, it'll give you a currency of 1 and obviously a battle value of 2. So that could be good if you want to fight off goblins. You've also got secret tombs. I don't think I went for many of these last game. Worth 7 victory points at the end is going to cost you 7 income or 7 money though, and that's something else to be aware of. So let's just move these off to the side. And lastly I have explore. So it's going to give you 2 currency, it's going to cost you 3, and it can just give you a boot, so it lets you move more. So they're the 3 standard things you can do. Here are the things you can always buy for the market. The downside of buying for the market is this deck is going to be turned upside down. If you then buy something, so it adds 2 clank, so that's been spent. I've now got 3, obviously, currency to spend as well. Spend it or lose it. What can I spend on 3? There's not much. Obviously, I might just buy myself an explore. But let's say I took the underground river. Well, that's going to go in my discard as well. And that's when it comes out. So then I can use it as a boot or whatever. You replace it with 1 card. In this case, it's fine. But if you get, and I think about a third of the deck has them, a dragon symbol, then unfortunately the dragon is awoken and it's going to start doing stuff. So let's see if we can find that dragon, and remarkably we are not seeing any dragons come out. This starts down on the level where you are based on how many players you're playing with, and for some reason we're still not finding a dragon, which is absolutely bizarre. And here's a dragon. So we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31. Did not expect it to be that long. But the point is, everything that's here goes in the bag. There also might be some black cubes in the bag too. And in this instance, if the amount drawn, in this case 2, happens to be your colour, it's going to go on your spot. Like I said, that's bad because unless you're healing them, then obviously you could be exterminated. I happened to get to the very last space before we're getting home, and I died, as is somebody else. We happened to at least score a point though, because if you score in the purple zone, then you do keep your loot, so you do get points. Having said that, if you happen to get beyond those first 6 tiles, you're dealing with these tiles. These are going to be shuffled, you're going to discard 2 randomly face down, and then the rest of them could well be explored. Better stuff down here, you are deeper into the caverns, better relics and various things you can use, including obviously that artifact which allows you to get home. Again, that first artifact that comes out is worth fewer points, it's only worth 5 points. And then if you happen to leave it and go for other ones, you could be worth obviously respectively 6 and 8 points, etc. And yeah, obviously count up how many points you have, which includes other things such as obviously points on the cards, any coins like I showed you before that you can be getting as well, and obviously total up your final score for victory. Again, you might have other things such as relics and other bits, things, bonuses including getting back, those kind of things. So that's the game. What I think of it, 8 out of 10. I do prefer it to the original Clank. I highly enjoy it. I think it's great how it's more variable. I've actually never won at Clank, come very close. And this one in particular is the closest I've come. And yeah, it's a lovely game where you've got obviously some narrative on here. You've still got that humour. Highly enjoy it. Very, very much looking forward to Clank Acquisitions Incorporated because of the miniatures as well. They look like a lot of fun. Yeah, it's got a lovely table presence. It doesn't take up too much space. This size table can easily handle 4, even 5 players, and it's something I highly do recommend checking out. If you have any questions, like I said, this hasn't been a typical video because it's somebody else's copy, so I haven't been able to give it its full due diligence in terms of quality of explanation. So I do apologise if anybody's found this a bit jarring. Equally, I wanted to make sure people were aware of this game and give an opportunity to obviously give their thoughts on it. If you do have any questions, please let me know. Again, the comments YouTube are best because everyone else can discover that. Aside from that, if you do want to head through to see more videos, check out the description on YouTube, whereby you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share. And if you head through to Linktree, there are occasionally competitions. They are time sensitive to keep checking back. Also, if you go through to Linktree, you can head through to Instagram, over 2,800 posts, including for this game. There are also various other things you can do as well. Join the discussion over on Facebook. And there's also Discord, amongst other things. But for now, thanks for watching. And again, this is going to go in the How to Set Up Plan Review playlist, amongst many others. Back to the table.